Hello, and welcome back to the Handy Outdoorsman. Today we are headed up to the property to prepare for the up-and-coming late doe season that we have here in the state of Michigan. The wife's inside getting us a couple of coffees for the road, and we should be up there in about 2 hours. And I'm looking forward to this late doe season, as I was not able to spend as much time in the woods as I normally would have during our hunting season. I only spent 3 days in the woods during bow season and 5 days during gun season. Though I was productive in the bow season, as I did have a doe come in. However, she didn't come into any of my shooting lanes, so I wasn't able to take a shot. And then I had a spike come in a little bit later, and I got some good footage. However, I decided that he was not big enough for me to fill one of my buck tags. If there's, as they say, let them go so they can grow. And this one that came in was just too small. But I was able to harvest a 5-point buck on my third trip out. And normally during bow season, I'm out in the woods, at least a dozen times. I'm constantly out there. I much prefer to be bow hunting. I love bow hunting, prefer over gun. But this year my schedule just did not allow it. And then I did go up for gun hunting and was not able to see anything worth taking. I had a small buck come in, but because I was now hunting on a restrictive tag, I was limited on what I could take. So my restrictive tag, I have to take a deer or a buck that has 4 points or more on one side. So I was not able to do that during the 5 days that I was up there in my first trip. My son came home from service in between duty stations for the Thanksgiving weekend, and he was only home for a week, so we only had maybe 3 days to hunt together because he had things that he needed to do to get his stuff out of storage and move on to his next duty station. So we were kind of limited on the amount of time we spent up at the property. But fortunately, during that time, I was able to harvest an 8-point buck, so I was able to fill my second buck tag. He was not able to fill his, but we share the bounties of my hunt, so he's got venison to take him into half of next year a little bit. But hopefully during this doe season here, I'm able to be successful and to harvest another animal, and then that way I can share more with him on filling his freezer as well as my own. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be a great time. As you can see behind me, we just got probably a good 8 inches of snow here recently, so the woods should just be beautiful right now. And it should be quiet and peaceful, and it's also going to help us to pattern the deer because of the snowfall that's out there, and we'll be able to see which way they're traveling through the property. But come along with us today as we prepare ourselves for this up-and-coming doe season. So here it is, December 15th, and I'm refilling the feeder. We have a late doe season that comes in on December 18th, and by the tracks all around here, they've been hitting this feeder pretty hard. So I've got it set so that it puts out maybe a little over a gallon twice a day. So that's 2 gallons a day. But here in the state of Michigan, we can put out to 2.5 gallons at any given time, as long as the total amount on the ground doesn't exceed that. With it being full of snow everywhere and pretty much the only food source, they've been tearing this up. So I don't have to worry about exceeding the daily limit, that's for sure. So I'm going to fill this one up, and then I got another one on the other side of the property I'm going to fill up as well. I've got enough corn to fill this up maybe 2 more times. So after I'm done doe hunting next week, I'll go ahead and fill it up. So they'll have plenty of food here for the next couple of weeks to get through this snow that we got, which is kind of early for us. We usually don't get snow until right around Christmas, maybe a little thereafter. But this definitely should be a hot spot for the upcoming doe season. So it's just crack pouring, nothing special. And this feeder here has a timer on it, and it goes off twice a day. Once at 7:30 and again at 4 o'clock. So I've hunted this twice this year, and I haven't had deer come up here and start running up to it as soon as it goes off, like I see in some other YouTube videos. But they know it's here, so they definitely come and eat all the food. The other biggest thing too is that it's feeding squirrels, the raccoons. They've been hitting this hard. My trail cam, that's straight back there, it's got more squirrels and raccoons on it than deer. But with all the tracks that are around here now, I definitely know the deer. Takes just a little less than 150 pounds. That's quite a bit, and it'll last for 2 to 3 weeks. All right, I'm gonna go and do the other one now. Great time to be outside right now. Tranquility, wow. But it's just gorgeous. I'm following this trail right here in, though I've stepped over it already, but there was quite a few deer tracks leading into the back stand. So I'm hoping that this will remain productive as well as the other stand. So we just got another 3 days before the doe season comes in, and we'll be back out here for 4 or 5 days just enjoying this. And then on inclement weathers, there's a gun blind. If it's raining or too cold, I can sit in there with a Mr. Heater and be comfortable. But it's really thick in here, but just gorgeous. Then there's this opening here that, you know, with the feeder placed here in the center, you can see all the tracks in the snow. It just they cut through the property right here. It's always been a good spot, I think, because there's enough cover all the way around. They can sneak through the woods, and then, like I said, with the opening here and putting a feeder right here in the center, they like coming through here. So yeah, it's great. I'm gonna go ahead and put a camera up here. I usually have one here throughout the season, but this is the first year that they've had the late doe season in the area in which I hunt. So I usually take the cameras down at the end of our gun season or bow season, because that's usually when I'm done. But like I said, they just announced that there is a late doe season here, so I'm putting the camera back out. And I know I don't have a lock on this one, but this one is so close to the house up here that all the years that it's been here, I've never had anyone mess with it, so I'm feeling safe that I can leave this one here. But yeah, that's it. So we've got the feeder here filled up just like we did on the other one, and then here I've got a gun blind. I had one at the other one. I didn't have a tree stand at the far feeder, but I do here, because this is, like I said, been very, very productive area on this property. More deer have been taken out of here than anywhere else. So that's why we kind of come back to this whenever we know we're gonna need to fill a tag. This is definitely the hot spot on the property. All right, okay, well, that's it. So let me end this here now, and then we'll pick it up in 3 days from now when we head up here for the late doe season. Hello, and welcome back to the Handy Outdoorsman. That's Bobo. Season, all 3 times that I went out, I did see deer.